So, as the title says, I have a few fails in this video, but that's okay. I hope you learn from my mistakes. The first fail is I underestimated how much resin I would need for this mold. This is actually two parts because there's a lid and then the box part of the mold. What I should have done was measured how much resin I would need by pouring water into the mold to see how much I would need. I did not do that, so I actually ended up having to mix resin 3 times. Yes, 3 times. So that was not good. On a positive note, check out this glitter from Hemway. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I've never tried any of the glitters from Hemway yet, and it just sparkles. It's like chunky glitter mixed with fine glitter, and it's like browns and tans, and God, it's absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. It's, oh, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just, I can't say any more about it. It's just beautiful. So I'm definitely gonna have to buy more of that. So, okay, so the next fail is, and I'm gonna be figuring it out kind of soon, is this mold came with one of those wood boxes. I did not know what the box was for because it came in parts, and I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I did not know what it was for, and I figured it out while I was doing this what it was for. It's to keep the shape of the mold. So if you didn't know, now you know. And if you did know, then you can be like, haha, Trish, yeah, that's what it's for. But, so as I'm pouring this resin, so, oh, here, see, I'm mixing up more resin right now. As I'm pouring the resin into there, I'm realizing, this is starting to change the shape of the mold. And yeah, you'll see that in a little while after I finish mixing this second batch of resin. And so then a little bit more disaster comes, and you'll see. So stay tuned and get the popcorn so you can laugh at me when I make a big mess. And so here I am pouring in more resin to the mold, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's not really looking like a box, but you know, I'm just adding the inks and seeing what I can do with the design, and I'm thinking I'm just going to keep pouring the resin in there and take my stick and I'm gonna like run it on the sides to see if it makes a difference in the shape. So that's what I'm doing here, and also I'm trying to ensure that there will be no trapped bubbles on the sides of the mold. But yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that doesn't look like a box. Another fail that I had on this was I was mixing metallic gold tint with the alcohol ink, and I don't know that much about resin yet, so I didn't know that it was going to stay wet because it didn't cure within the resin. And so that's something that I won't do again in the future, is to put it on top of the resin. I guess you need to mix it pretty well for it to not do that. So on the lid here, I'm just putting some gold leaf and copper leaf, and those came with the box mold. They're pretty colors. And yep, I realized this mold is not going to a box shape like it should be. Oh, I feel so silly now. And in a minute here, I'm going to be realizing that I did not make enough resin again. So I'm pouring it into the lid part of the mold, And I'm like, oh shoot, I have to make another batch of resin. And this could have all been avoided had I just measured how much I needed. So learn from my mistakes, people. Don't do this. And those are the little wood pieces that came with the mold that I had no idea how I was supposed to use them. And this is, I thought that I would just be able to slide it right over the mold, and guess what? You'll see. So that happened, and now I'm just cleaning up my mess. And you know, it didn't help too that those wood pieces are made from very cheap material. So actually, when I was taking the box apart to demold, 2 of those little pieces on the side of those wood pieces just snapped right off. So yeah, it's a very cheap little box, and but you know, it is what it is. I ordered another one because you can't do this mold without having a shape. You just can't. Otherwise it's gonna turn out all deformed looking. So yeah, for the next time I will do the box first and slip the mold into it, and I will try to be more careful about not breaking it, because it's, and here I really did struggle getting it on, and I did get it on eventually, but it still wasn't as straight as it should have been, and so the box did turn out a little deformed on one side, which you'll see. And just as a tip, if you didn't already know this or do this while you're working with resin, it's very helpful to keep a small little spray bottle of alcohol next to you. It just makes cleanup so much easier and faster, and it's saved me a lot of times in having to clean up a huge mess later. So anyways, I bought some off of Amazon, and I will definitely link them down below. Okay, so here I am taking it out of the mold, and yeah, as you can see, those little wood pieces, they're already starting to bend, and they were stuck a little bit to the mold too, which didn't help because I had that spillage. So yeah, I had to pull a little bit harder to get them off, and they didn't break at this point, but they do a little bit later. So it wasn't too hard to get the box out of the mold. I didn't really have to work too hard to do it, which surprised me because I've seen people struggle with these. And I have to say, look how gorgeous that is. I mean, I'm in love with this glitter. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love the colors. The back, I'm gonna have to do a top coat on the back, which is fine. Because that part came out wet, so I'm gonna have to do, I wiped what I could off of it, and then I'm gonna do just a clear coat on top. But yeah, this is just gonna be for me, because it is a little warped. You can see on the side, it didn't cure as straight as it should have for a box. It's not terrible, but if you look closely, you can tell. I love how the lid turned out too. I really like the gold leaf. I really didn't need to do all that extra color in there anyways. I don't know. I was just experimenting. But I think it would have been pretty just with that foil on it. So I decided not to do another coat on the bottom. I just put some feet down there, and it turned out okay. I was actually pretty pleased with it. I did end up making another jewelry box, and I kind of like the way this one turned out better. Now, another thing that I didn't know is that that lid actually is not supposed to go on the way that I was putting it on. That top part is actually, it goes on the jewelry box face down. I just thought it was a really pretty design, and I thought it went that side, but it doesn't. So I actually might try to do another lid so that not so much gold is facing on the top part, because I really wanted to emphasize all of that gold leaf, and that's what makes it so pretty. So yeah, I'll probably do that, but for my first one, it actually didn't turn out too bad. Alright, thank you for watching this video and learning from my fails, and please, if you would, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and let me know what you think. Alright, thanks y'all. Have a good day.